So I've been wanting to make another video on My Hero Academia for a while now, but wasn't really sure what to make it on. And I was doing some scrolling through my analytics, and I found that a common search term was for an explanation of the quirks. So I just went and gathered all the important information on them, and now I'm just going to show it to you in a way that's semi-entertaining and easily understandable. At least I hope. If nothing else, the extra views from talking about a trending anime should be nice exposure. But anyway, if you're a bit confused about what quirks belong to what category, or just how quirks work in general, hopefully this helps. If not, well, let me channel my inner Canadian and let me apologize for wasting a couple minutes of your life. Sorry. So I'm sure that you already know the origin of the quirk, and that around 80% of the world's population has one. I mean, we hear it at the beginning of every goddamn episode, so that's really nothing new. Then there's the fact that quirks typically manifest at age 4, and will be one of the parents' quirks or a combination of both if they're compatible. But that's all common knowledge, so let's try to move on to something that maybe you don't know. There's this thing called a Quark Factor, which is defined as the collective trait that composes a quirk. And those traits are made up of the quirk power and the biological mechanisms that allow for that power to function. Take Bakugo for example. His quirk power is the ability to make explosions at will, and the biological mechanism that causes it is the excretion of sweat similar to nitroglycerin from his palms that can then be ignited. The Quark Factor can also be halted or damaged, resulting in the inability to use that quirk. Then there's the three known quirk types: emitter, transformation, and mutant. Keeping up? Okay, good. Emitters emit stuff. But seriously, these quirks have the ability to alter the environment around them or release a particular material or substance from their body after a conscious effort to do so. So, in a sentence, it's an activation type quirk that doesn't affect the user's appearance, but rather the area around them. This is by far the most common quirk type, with around 60 known quirk abilities falling into this category. But I feel that the writers just decided to toss everything that wasn't a transformation or a mutant quirk here, because the classification for emitter is so much more vague than the other two. Aside from this, emitters have a variety of features and attributes that really just depend on the quirk ability. They can be close range or long range or alter material properties or molecular biology. Anyway, from the anime so far, the quirks that fall into this category are... Hold on, let me take a deep breath because it's quite a few. One for All, Half Cold, Half Hot, Explosion, Hellflame, Homing, Disintegration, Zero Gravity, Erasure, Sugar Rush, Creation, Electrification, Brainwashing, Naval Laser, Acid, Cementing, Softness, Lumber, Black Hole, Solid Air, Clones, Voice, Hydrokinesis, and Cement. And those are just the ones that we've seen so far from the show. It probably would have just been easier to say which ones weren't emitter types, but oh well. Next up we've got the Mutant Type quirk, which can be seen as a passive quirk because they make permanent alterations to the user's body. But since they're permanent, they have a greater degree of control. These are the easiest to identify since they add irregular features to the user's body. But aside from a change in the user's physical appearance, it can enhance existing abilities or channel certain aspects of the user. The ones that we've seen so far are Zoom, Engine, Earphone Jack, Pop-Off, Transparency, Frog Form, Vines, Tail, Tape, and Sludge Form. Not too many, but quite easy to distinguish from the rest. And finally, we've got the transformation types. It's pretty self-explanatory, but since it's my job to do the thinking for you, it's a quirk that allows the user to temporarily alter their form in some way, or in 3 words, transform their body. These quirks can enhance existing features or even add completely new ones to the body altogether. They are an activation type, but since they are only temporary, overuse of them can lead to a negative outcome. And since they combine the physical alteration element of the mutant and the activation aspect of the emitter, they are seen as hybrid quirks and are often the least common. And the abilities that fall into this category are Dark Shadow, Hardening, Steel, Scales, yeah I bet you forgot about him, Duple Arms, and Size. And there you go, that's the basic information on Quirks 101. If you guys have anything in particular that you want me to talk about, let me know in the comments below. As for what's coming out in the future, a couple Who Did It Betters, one with Okami and one with Explanation Point. The themes are going to be time travel and MMORPGs, so I bet you can guess which shows we'll be covering for those. And then I'm thinking of doing a video on recreators, but I'm not too sure yet. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this type of anime content, then you already know what to do. So until next time, ciao!